Long live Jerry Jones, making headlines this week. Dak Prescott. Let's pull it up.
What does
Four
it say?
4 years, $240 million, 231, basically the whole thing guaranteed. 60 million per year. First $60 million player in NFL history. Highest paid player in NFL history for now. Uh,
For
and I
now, yeah.
and I think you caught somewhere that he had an
Oh,
80 million signing bonus.
yep. Sign-on bonus of 80 million, so that cuts out of the 231. But regardless, that man getting paid. Can we borrow a few million?
Long live Jerry Jones.
Long live Jerry Jones, because hey, good for everyone else in the NFL. I think it's a bad decision by the Dallas Cowboys. My opinion, though.
Can we just talk about, so this is a very win now type of move, right? Like
Yep.
you want to lock him down. You're not gonna have to pay him this year immediately. It's like what people are doing with like the Niners did with CMC. You just extend him for that
Mm-hmm.
immediate foreseeable future, but you're still paying him that lower amount. Um, but I think Dallas is really shooting themselves in the foot down the road because you know Mike McCarthy's situation is a little precarious, and when you have a franchise level caliber contract on your books like that for someone that might be coming in that's not, or for the new coach that comes in that might not be the biggest Dak Prescott fan, you're kind of cooked.
I was looking at this, even talking about it with family, and at the very least, I expected them to at least play through a majority, if not the whole season, before considering if they want to give Dak a deal. Because even Dak was even saying like, oh, I don't have to. Well, he said a lot of things. I'll talk about one of them in a second. But the first thing was that he wasn't really worried about the whole contract situation going into the season. So I'm like, okay, from a business standpoint, maybe we can kick the rocks down the road a little bit because I believe everyone on the other quarterbacks already got most of their deals done, unless like someone else was going to come out of the water and make it more expensive for Dak. Either way, this coming from the man that, by the way, that said he couldn't feed his family off of $34 million. So I don't know. He must have hired his whole family or something like that because that's wild.
I could
That's a
do some
wild thing to
damage with
say.
I could do some damage at Chick-fil-A with 34 million, I'll tell you that.
Who are you telling?
I see, the thing is that like you got to win it, cuz if you don't, you're cooked. Like you got who else do you have on the books? Let's take a look here.
Who do we have? Oh, they recently got CeeDee Lamb. That deal was done right before the season started because he wasn't at camp.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, Trayvon Diggs was last year,
Yep.
and I believe the only big contract, like the big one on everyone's mind, is like what's going to happen with Micah Parsons. But I haven't heard nothing from that.
Yep. So looking at their 2024 um, cap table, Dak, this isn't updated numbers, or this is this year's salary numbers. So you got 44 dedicated to Dak, 20 dedicated to DeMarcus Lawrence, Zach Martin taking 15 and a half, Trevon Diggs taking another 14, Terrence Steele with 11, Brandon Cooks with 10, CD with 8.75. Let's move it into 2025. With the numbers here, I think they're going to adjust a little bit with the new contract that's coming in. But you can
Mm-hmm.
already get a picture of the amount of money that they're going to have committed. So they already got, I mean, it says 90 million here as a cap hit. We don't know what his actual number is going to be. If they can just extend that out further, they'll probably end up doing that. But CD Lamb is hitting the books at 35 and a half. Micah Parsons at
Yeah.
21. Trevon Diggs is 14. Terrence Steele at 17.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of money committed in very few places.
Yeah. O line, it's going to take a hit. They're
It's
gonna take
always
a
a,
hit in a lot of
it's
spaces.
always the first one to go, right?
Right. Especially their old line is actually pretty old because they let go of who was the tackle? Like what was his name? Terrence or something like that.
He played not Zach Martin. He plays for the Jets now.
Yeah, but he's not. Basically, he's like not the same tackle that he used to be. So that's going to take a hit,
Yeah.
especially with all the money tied in because you got CeeDee Lamb on a 4-year, $136 million extension. Um, And I don't know what's going to happen with. I don't even think they're going to have. I'm not saying they won't have the money for Micah Parsons, but I think they may let him go, which is like oof. But you can't keep everybody though, especially after this season. This season is literally for the Cowboys. It's win now.
It has to be. With the amount of money they have committed, it's going to be hard to move that around. I mean, you always
If
expect
you're,
that. You always expect that salary cap number to go up,
oh yeah.
but
Um,
there has to be some level of production that keeps up with it, right?
I was just gonna say, like, if the thing is, I don't know why we're making. I'm not saying someone else wouldn't have made Dak the highest, the highest paid person in the NFL. It's just that I just don't understand how you can give someone that's played for you what 8, 9 years now, and he gives you 11, 10, 11, 12 wins per season. Which okay, good regular season, you can do it. Every time we get to the playoffs, though, what happens, everyone?
The same old Cowboys.
You go in and you're out right in the first round every single time. I've even had some people actually kind of tight with having Dak. They're like, we're gonna let Dak go. We're gonna rebuild. We're gonna have CeeDee Lamb because at least you have a wide receiver there for any other QB coming in. They have something to throw to. Then they have more money to put it elsewhere in the team, right? Nah, they said we want Dak. And I said, you know what? You can have Dak for another 4 years. If that means another 4 years of you going to the playoffs and not winning a single thing, so be it.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, yeah, it's really they're putting all their eggs in one basket right now. And like I was saying, like we don't know what Mike McCarthy's position is. I mean, it's really easy to fall out of favor with Jerry Jones. It's really hard to fall out of favor with Jerry Jones. Long live Jerry Jones. I think the NFL is a
long
better
live
place.
Jerry Jones.
The NFL is a much better place as long as he's alive. Um, but yeah, the number that sticks out is, or the comparison that sticks out when you're starting to deal with this kind of guaranteed money
Mm-hmm.
is the Deshaun Watson situation. And
Yeah,
that if you put yourself in you're talking about generations worth of like damage to your franchise. Um, the amount of money that they gave, the amount of draft capital they gave up in Brown's case as well. They don't have that in this case since um, Dak is a homegrown player. But you committing yourself to that much, it's gonna hurt your ability to make moves. And if it doesn't pan out, the ends justify the means.
mm-hmm.
If Dallas goes on to win the Super Bowl, um, then it was justified.
Which we hope that doesn't happen.
No,
I
no,
do not want
no.
to. No,
The world is a better place when
we
Dallas is the
have four
losers.
years. Basically, like right now, the NFL's homework is to keep Dallas out of the Super Bowl for the next 4 years. Same thing we've been doing for the past 9. We got to do it for another 4, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I don't even think they're going to get through the full deal. Well, excuse me. Since they guaranteed 231 million out of the 240, it doesn't matter if they don't like Dak or not now. It's going to be like the Deshaun Watson. You're stuck with him. Either
Yeah,
you're going to play with them or you're just going to have a dead cap hit like the Broncos have with they have the biggest like Broncos are the team with the biggest hit in dead cap money with Russell
and
Wilson going.
I think I overheard some commentary today that if Browns were to try to cut him, like they're talking like 150, 160, 170 like $1 million worth of dead cap hit. I don't know how long they could spread that out over, but that's impossible to bookkeep with when you have a
No
52
team,
man
no
roster.
team's gonna touch. Just like the
Yeah,
Steelers, no team's gonna touch that. Whoever, if they were to let go of Deshaun Watson, no team is gonna want that contract. It's like you can take the full brunt, and we'll have him cheap.
and that's what we're saying about the Dallas situation. If they come to a point where they need to move him on, who's going to want to take him?
Exactly, because it's like John Gruden with like the Raiders. Like that's the reason why Raiders don't have a lot of cash. They gave that man 10 years and $100 million, so that cash is taken out of their stuff too. That's fully guaranteed, by the way.
Oh yeah,
So, and we're still like on year what 5, 6 or something like that. We're in the middle of that deal for the Raiders. So stuff like dead cap. Now the Cowboys, they're locked in. They have to go and get a Super Bowl. That is, it's either Super Bowl or bust. That's what they're saying with, especially with that contract this season, because I forget if Micah Parsons' contract year is this year or next year. I forget which one. It might be this year, but I could be wrong. So
yeah. And so I mean, I think that's all I have on that. I mean, we just kind of have to wait and see. I mean, fuck the Cowboys as always, but I mean, this is going to be, if you're a Cowboys fan, I mean, I'm trying to put myself in a Cowboys fan's shoes. I mean, I know a lot of, the majority of them are head ass fans, but I know a lot of not head ass fan Cowboys, and I think they're probably scratching their head at this one.
No, yeah. I mean, the more realistic fans, because I don't know, Dak. Hey, they know what Dak's been giving them for the past 9 years.
It's not going to
So
change.
right, because man, that man, when it comes to games where he has to play against the above 500 teams or the playoff caliber teams, it's like he disappears every time.
Yep, for sure. And that's all we have here for Miss Reps. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Catch you again.
Peace.